Some were rear-mounted, others were front-mounted, and in Germany, farmers often collect grass to feed their cattle with a mower or forage harvester and a self-unloading forage wagon. The Vicon swather cut the crop with disc mower, conditioned it to hasten drying, and left it in a high swath. The drawbar design allowed cutting to continue while turning a corner. Originally designed by Lely, the Vicon Acrobat was simple, cheap, easy to use, and thousands were made during a 30-year production run. Power-driven machines had virtually replaced the Acrobat and other ground-drive machines by the mid-1980s. The class rotary tedder, the rotary rake used to row up the crop for the baler, helped to speed up haymaking. Modern high-speed haymaking relies on power-driven swath treatment machinery. The grass may be cut at high speed with a disc mower. Much higher outputs are achieved with front and rear-mounted mower conditioners. And the Lely Lotus makes equally rapid progress when tedding or swath turning. Some farmers direct harvested grass for silage in the 1970s. Others used a mower, then collected the wilted swath with a forage harvester. The Class Jaguar was another example of the trailed, precision chop forage harvesters used at the time. By 1980, the Class were making a wider range of forage harvesters. This 40-inch cut model was direct coupled to a trailer. The cutting cylinder is the heart of all precision chop forage harvesters and needs sharpening at least twice a day. Less powerful tractors could be used with this engine-driven Jaguar. But by the mid-1980s, many farmers hired a contractor and a self-propelled harvester for silage making. When full, the trailer was hauled to the clamp, where the discharge load was levelled and consolidated. The 300 horsepower Jaguar 690 was added to the class range in 1987. This one is making short work of harvesting grass at rates of up to 60 tons an hour on the Dutch polders. After a load is tipped at the clamp, the loader makes equally quick work of spreading and consolidating the grass. Baling grass for silage has been practiced for many years, but less handling was involved with big bales. carried to the farmyard and sealed in a plastic bag. Trailed combines were still being made in 1970, but self-propelled models such as the Class Senator, first seen in 1968, gathered the harvest on most farms. A cab was available for the 1970 model on the Lely Victory combine. The driver on this New Holland 8050 combine was less fortunate. Class launched the first of a long line of Dominator models in 1970. But the end was in sight for Ransom's combines. The last Cavaliers and Crusaders were made in 1976. Axial flow combines arrived from America in 1979, and the man loses no time in singing their praises.
Combine of the future that'll start paying off for you right now, as soon as your next harvest. That'll give you a far better return on your investments in crops and machinery than you've ever enjoyed before.
The International Harvester 935 combine was made in the late 1970s, but cabs were still an optional extra. By the mid-80s, combine cabs were standard. The class range included the Commander and the Dominator. And Massey Ferguson combines included the 530 and the 760. Massey Ferguson demonstrated their American-built 300 horsepower rotary combine to British farmers in 1987. A 22-foot table header was available, but in the UK the price was too high, and that was the end of it. Green, red and yellow combines dominated the market in the 90s. John Deere had their Z series with cutter bars up to 20 feet wide and a 270 horsepower engine. Massey Ferguson models, now built in Denmark, include the 34R and the 38, which was used to pioneer cereal crop yield mapping.